This is LEGO Star Wars 2, the original trilogy. We're here on PlayStation 5. Be sure to like the video. Subscribing is great as well. So this is an all-time classic LEGO Star Wars game. So back in the day when I was quite young, we got the original Star Wars, LEGO Star Wars, which just had episodes 1 to 3, and then later on they came out with this follow-up that gave you the magic of the original trilogy. And then they did the complete saga, where they combined the two games together into one ultimate game. And it was like, what? And, yeah, this one always just a very, very classic kind of LEGO Star Wars experience that's finally available on the PlayStation 5, which is really, really cool. So, what are we getting here? 1440p, 60 FPS should be the target. And, yeah, at any point you can press start, and you can rewind in order to go back in time to attack the various stormtroopers. You can also create saves, and you can do things like visual presets, modern, classic arcade, and modern arcade. And then you can adjust the underscan, because this is from the PSP version of the game, which kind of amazing that the PSP could even run this. And then there's custom button assignments, but what we got here is pretty in line with the LEGO Star Wars, well, just any LEGO game of the era and stuff. And it's super cool that this is finally, like, kind of available here on the PlayStation side of things. I mean, I would have maybe preferred the, complete saga or something like that, but it's cool. No, it's seriously cool that this is available. I mean, you can definitely see where they've had to do certain, like, cutbacks in terms of, like, settings and stuff like that to make this look like it did on the PSP. Because you gotta remember, what we're getting here is emulated, PSP era stuff. And then essentially they are like doing an up resolution on the game. And yeah, that's kind of what it is. But it looks really, really quite clean, especially for something that, like I said, is from the PSP era. That is genuinely impressive. So they did a whole bunch of improvements to the Star Wars, like Lego. Like every Lego game evolved upon other Lego games, which I thought was really, really cool over the time, seeing them all release. Kind of wondering if they're going to maybe do other LEGO kind of games. I'm trying to think of what else was on the PS2 back in the day, or the PSP or the PS2 back in the day that they could do. I wonder if we could ever get the original LEGO Star Wars. Yeah, it'd be weird for them to start with this one and then do the first one, right? Like, wouldn't it make more sense for the first one to come and then this one? So maybe they can't do the first one. Anyways, genuine shame. As yeah, these just absolutely like a classic game of my childhood. The Lego Star Wars games are just truly magical games to me. They're funny, they're entertaining, they're great for all audiences. You could do the drop in, drop out kind of co-op kind of stuff was always a staple of the games. And if you're not familiar with them, like, these are games that you play and you sort of play again because you want to get like all the studs that you can to buy characters, and then there's secret extra missions, and there's like the true kind of Jedi thing. We're getting enough like studs during play, and then enough studs during free play, where you can replay with other characters. And there's like hidden mini kit collectibles, and there's other secrets and stuff like that, and there's all kinds of fun stuff. And it's like a little, like, it's Star Wars, like, it's serious about it, but it's also like they're kind of having like a joke with it too, where it's kind of a laugh about Star Wars and some of the more serious stuff. And they're really like, this is classic to me. And it's like, I love the prequels kind of the most, just because of the era and stuff like that, but this is such a great recreation, honestly, of like a classic, like the classic movies and stuff like that. It's so awesome. So you could just like sink in the hours on this game. Like, it's actually ridiculous how much time you can spend playing these. And then complete saga, like, honestly, if you can play that one, that to me is kind of the way to go about it. I guess that was like PS3 era, so they don't really have any emulation for that. On the Xbox side of things, you can actually get complete Saga, but the resolution's kind of low. I think this one is also on the Xbox side of things, but I think the resolution is low on it, which is a bit of a shame. But this looks, you know, this looks fantastic. Like, honestly, it really does look quite nice. I can't believe they were able to, like, actually kind of achieve this with the you know, with the PSP at the time. It's remarkable. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope. Eat the thing, R2. But you can see some areas where they clearly had to, like, cut back on, like, textures and stuff for the PSP. So that in itself is kind of funny too, because you get these like really low res things, and because the low res stuff, like if it's like imagery and stuff as opposed to like actual like game assets, those don't really up res. So that's why the studs look like horrendous compared to other versions. So the studs are like little things you pick up here, the little coins and everything like that. So they're basically, it looks like they're like superficial in the game, if that makes sense. Whereas if you played this on like I guess the Xbox or like a PC or, you know, like PS. I'm trying to think if the PS2 had it or if it was the PS3 that had this one. Like it would actually be full like 3D and stuff, if that makes sense. Like, yeah. So kind of neat that this is available, because like I said, this is like this is a childhood classic game for me. I really do genuinely like adore these games. They're so good, and you get episodes like 4, 5, 6, which obviously back in the Star Wars days were like, you know, the original movies, but you get what I'm talking about. And yeah, it's just kind of amazing what they were able to kind of do with this stuff. Like it really is, it is quite impressive, the scale of this. Like it's the full game, and it doesn't really seem to be too cut down in terms of actually achieving something technically quite impressive. But yeah, you get, why can't I switch to C3PO there? Sorry, I was just trying to, like, usually you can switch from a distance, so that's a bit odd. Okay, so like I was saying, yeah, so you get, oh, I thought I could make that. You get episodes, the original trilogy, and then you get extra stuff, extra missions. It's got like a full scope thing, and then there's like this the cantina is an area that you kind of get to like chill out in. It's like a hub area, and that's where you kind of buy all your characters and do all your missions, and it's just really quite a beloved, at least for me, definitely a beloved Lego experience and Star Wars experience too. Right, you got to remember this is a Star Wars game, right? Even if it well, I wouldn't say doesn't look like it, but even if it's a different style, you know, it matches the heart and the fun of the Star Wars universe so well. Yeah, really, really quite magical. And if you're coming from playing the Skywalker saga, which is like all 9 movies in a game, this one does actually kind of do a better job of like specifically focusing on the original trilogy. Because like, I mean, let's be real here, doing 9 movies in a game is tantalizing because you want to expand upon things. But like if you do a focus thing like this one, where it's just the original trilogy, you get a lot more content. That's the thing, is you get a lot more in depth during like some of the cool moments, right? So that is a thing as well. The benefit of playing specifically this one, if you've never done so before, is that, and you're safe, guys, is that you can actually properly enjoy like a more in-depth look at these different levels, these different moments in Star Wars. And I think that in itself is really, really quite cool. So that's why I do think that, you know, I advocate for this one, saying it's still well worth playing, even if you have played kind of, I guess you would say, the newer iteration, the remake, reimagining of the stuff, just because you do get some stuff. Because like, I remember playing like the Skywalker Saga, and I love it. Like seriously, I reviewed it very well. I love it. It's so good. It's so well done. But there were definitely parts when I was playing that where I'm like, oh, this is missing, or oh, that is, you know, missing, or they didn't do that part from these games, and I was like, oh, because obviously I've come from this era, right? So like I know, I played these when they came out. You know, I was there like at the store picking these up to play them. I just remember being so blown away by the prequel Lego Star Wars, and then they did this one, and then they combined them, and I was like, it's so much. And I've 100%ed the or not Skywalker Saga, the complete saga, because it's such a favorite game of mine. Yeah, I actually 100%ed that one because it was such a gem. Like it was such a big game for me. I was like, oh, this is amazing. I love this. So it's kind of cool to be here showcasing this game and like talking about it still, or having a reason to talk about it after so many years. It's probably when did this probably come out? Like the late 2000s or something, mid 2000s. It's been, well, yeah, it's probably been like a couple decades we're getting close to. Holy, that is crazy to think about. I am actually getting old. Which I'm sure you don't care about, but, you know, it's just kind of funny when you play something and then it's like a retro game that you, like, can do rewind features on and stuff as if it's some kind of arcade thing is just a little mind messy to me, if that makes sense. Let's continue the story. Oh, we could have went to the other episodes, which would have been a good idea. It would have been cool to go to Hoth, but we'll go through the was it the Jundland Wastes? We could have shown off episode 5 and 6. Oh, they're all great. They're all worth playing, but we'll do this one. No skipping cutscenes though, which is why you're probably listening to these muted. You can turn off the music in this game, but it doesn't actually turn off the music during cutscenes because these are like pre-rendered. Well, actually, I guess they're not, right? Because they're upscaled. Yeah, so these aren't pre-rendered. These are actually like in-game rendered cutscenes because they're upscaled like this. They're not. But yet the music is still baked in. That is utterly fascinating. Why is that the case? That is a low-res Tusken Raider face. So another thing that's really weird is like, why are some of the characters high-res faced and some of the characters low-res? Like Obi-Wan looks really good, Luke looks really good, Tusken Raider's not so much, and then Luke's like jacket is like low-res. It's just fascinating to see where they made cutbacks. That's what always gets me is in seeing like ports and stuff. Because we don't really, outside of like the Switch, we don't really see crazy like miracle ports too much these days. Like it's mostly everything is technically very similar, so it's almost a little boring. Whereas back in this day, you got like all kinds of crazy different ports and stuff of different games, and yeah, you're never really sure what you were gonna get for experiences and stuff like that. But this is so impressive. Honestly, like, kind of amazing. Why am I... Well, I guess Luke's better for, like, shooting guys. I'm wondering if there's any we can ride the Banthas. Dude, this is the full game. This is really, really amazing. It's just, like, super low res for a lot of stuff. These horribly misunderstood Tusken Raiders. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Ridiculous. Anyways. Star Wars, am I right? Always a fun time. I am so impressed by the support of this game. It really is crazy. And an all-time classic. I really do, well, I'm assuming since they do keep you know, providing new ports or backwards compatible stuff, that this does actually become like kind of a forever game, because it is something that I think is as timeless as Star Wars is, at least in my opinion. Now that was a good slap in there, Luke. These guys are so annoying. Oh, there's also like extras that you can buy in game. So you earn like studs and stuff, and then you can buy extras, and you can have like silly like glasses and stuff on your characters, and like that's how you get your stud multipliers in order to like unlock stuff easier. Cover me, Luke. Oh, come on. The Force is strong with this one. It's over, Tuskens. I have the high ground. Please, Luke, could you just shoot one or two? I forgot how aggravating. Like in later Lego games, they change it so that you, like, when you're doing an activity, you can't get shot, because it was so annoying when you were trying to do something and you get shot. Like, I can imagine kids just getting super frustrated by that aspect of it. I mean, realistically, you should get attacked if you are like, or should stop what you're doing when you're getting shot at. But I can definitely remember being like frustrated by it. And I imagine kids are probably the same too nowadays, where it's just like, really? Yeah, I'm trying to do like a basic task. Why didn't Luke do the auto dodge there? There we go. He's supposed to auto dodge. Like, that's the whole point of like the keep shooting kind of thing. It's a mechanic in this game that they introduced over the first game, and then continued to evolve over the Lego games. Yeah. I think there's other secrets and stuff too. I mean, I don't care. I'm probably not gonna roll through this again. I'm so familiar with this game. It really is worth your time though. Like it's really cool if you haven't played it. But if you do have the option, the complete saga is like the go-to, because it includes this and it includes more bells and whistles and more stuff, and that is like kind of, to me, the ultimate Lego Star Wars game. And I know the Skywalker Saga is genuinely impressive. Again, I've reviewed it as such. But, like, there's something truly absolutely special about this one and the first one by themselves, too. They're really fascinating time capsules. From a simpler, quainter time. When Star Wars itself was simpler and quainter and more interesting and stuff like that. I'm really assuming, though, at some point, if I get to have kids, this will be something I share with them, will be playing these specific Lego Star Wars games. Yeah, they're so special. This makes me really want to hop on and kind of actually wrap up some achievements. Like this, there's the, it seems they're a little easier on the PlayStation side of things, but the 360 era achievements that are backwards compatible on Xbox, they are a like pain to earn for this game. Like some of them are actually like pretty difficult. If you didn't know, like they actually. What are you doing, Obi-Wan? I'm just trying to switch characters. It's like we don't have the quick switch character options. Anyways, drive me crazy. Let's go, Luke. Too bad we can't get that mini kit. Some of the stuff you have to do in free play. That's why they like tease you and then you come back. That's the replay value, is having to like redo the same sections over and over again in order to get new stuff and that, and trying to get all the mini kits. And when you're a kid, it's so fun because you gotta like earn and work towards stuff. But when you're an adult, you're just kind of like, wow, this is a lot of collectathon grinding and stuff like that. Which you either be a big fan of or you won't. But yeah, Lego Star Wars, the original trilogy, classic.